So here's the thing nobody wants to admit. Motivation is a lie. Not completely, but kind of. You know that feeling when you tell yourself, I'll start when I feel ready, or I'll do it when I have the energy? Oh yeah, I've been there too. Scrolling through my phone, waiting to feel motivated to work on something important. And guess what happens? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because motivation doesn't just show up at your door like a pizza delivery. If you're in your 20s like me, you probably feel like this all the time. You've got goals, things you want to do. But there's this gap between wanting something and actually doing it. You wait for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, the perfect energy level, but that moment never comes. And then you feel worse. Because now you're not just unmotivated, you're also disappointed in yourself. And that's a hell of a cycle. Here's what changed everything for me. I had it backwards. I thought motivation leads to action, but it's actually the opposite. Action creates motivation. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that once you start something, even if you didn't want to, it gets easier? That's because your brain starts engaging once you're in motion. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for the weather to be perfect before you learn to swim. You're just going to be waiting forever. So tip number 1 is to pretend that there's a camera crew following you around, documenting your life. It sounds weird, but hear me out. Imagine Netflix or whatever TV show is making a documentary about you becoming the person you want to be. How would you want that footage to look? Would you want them filming you scrolling on your phone for 3 hours? Or would you want them capturing you actually doing something? And the crazy part is, when you think like this, you naturally start acting different. You're doing it for the camera. You're doing it because you're seeing yourself from the outside. And suddenly, that gap between who you are and who you want to be becomes really obvious. So you start closing it. Not because you feel motivated, but because you don't want to be the person in a documentary who just didn't. Tip number 2 is to design your environment to make action easier than inaction. If you want to read more, put a book on your pillow. If you want to eat healthier, prep your meals. If you want to work on a project, have your laptop open to that exact file. Remove the friction and any distractions, because when you're unmotivated, even tiny obstacles feel like huge mountains. So make the right choice, the easy choice. Number 3 is to stop deciding every single time. Decision fatigue is real. Every time you have to decide whether to do something, you give yourself a chance to say no. Instead, create a schedule that you can't avoid. Not a flexible maybe I'll do it schedule, but a this is just what I do at this time schedule. Like brushing your teeth. You don't want to feel motivated to brush your teeth. You just do it. Get that same energy in that schedule. Tip 4 is to stack tiny wins. Motivation feeds on success, even small ones. So instead of setting a huge goal that feels overwhelming, break your goals into tiny, like very small pieces. Don't say, I'll write the whole essay. Say, I'll write 1 paragraph. Don't say, I'll clean the whole house. Say, I'll clean 1 counter. Each tiny win gives you a little dopamine hit. And that builds momentum. Suddenly, you're not dragging yourself forwards, you're rolling. And finally, tip 5 is to reframe how you see motivation. Stop treating it like something you need before you start and start seeing it as a byproduct. You don't need to feel motivated to start. You need to start to feel motivated. It's uncomfortable at first, I won't lie. But the more you practice taking action without waiting for the feeling, the more you realize you never needed it in the first place. You are more capable than your feelings tell you. So what happens when you stop waiting for motivation? You actually start living. You stop being stuck. You build the life that you keep talking about. Not because you felt like it, but because you did it anyway. And that is the real difference.